There's a different kind of buzz swirling around Foxborough this offseason. A rare blend of anticipation and uncertainty that only comes when a franchise enters a new era. And no, it's not just about the playbook or coaching adjustments. It's about the youth movement. A full-blown rookie revolution is taking shape with the New England Patriots, and it might just redefine the team's identity faster than anyone expected. Forget easing into the league. These rookies aren't waiting around. They're showing up to training camp not just to compete, but to take over, to claim starting jobs, and to be the backbone of a Patriots team that still believes in playoff potential despite the major transitions happening across the roster. Now, when we talk about rookies making an immediate impact, there's usually a limit to how many a team can reasonably lean on. Maybe 1-2 guys see real action. But here, we could be looking at count them six first-year players lining up as starters as early as week 2. That's not just a youth infusion, that's a complete structural shift in how the Patriots are building this thing. What's even more shocking is how solid some of these guys have looked, to the point where veteran depth is becoming less of a security blanket and more of a second option. Let's start in the trenches, because that's where this whole conversation gets real. When New England used that high first-round pick to take Will Campbell, you knew they weren't going to mess around. Campbell has already locked down that left tackle spot. Not just penciled in, but carved in stone. He's commanding attention in camp, holding his own against experienced edge rushers and looking every bit the anchor Mac Jones or Drake May, depending on how the season goes, needs to stay upright this year. But what really turned heads is who's lining up next to him. Third rounder Jarrett Wilson, originally projected as a developmental center, has slid into that left guard role and simply refused to give it back. He's not just surviving, he's thriving. Coaches are raving, teammates are backing him, and when you've got seasoned vets like Mike Onwenu and Morgan Moses praising a rookie lineman, that tells you everything you need to know. There's chemistry building on that left side of the line, and it's being driven by 2 guys who were in college just months ago. But it doesn't stop there. The Patriots aren't just loading up on offense. Special teams is getting its own rookie revolution. Julian Ashby, a long snapper drafted late in the process, has already secured his place. Say what you will about long snappers. If you've got one who's consistent and calm under pressure, you don't let him go. And Andre Morales, another late rounder, likely to be a mainstay on coverage units from day one. These are the kind of players Bill Belichick would have obsessed over. Now, it's on the next regime to get the most out of them. And so far, it looks like they are. Then there are the wild cards. The ones who might not be on that first team sheet just yet, but could be within arm's reach of a starting job depending on how week 1 shakes out. Trayvon Henderson is the name you need to watch. A second-round back who's already emerging as the go-to third down option, and not just for dump-offs and draws. His pass protection has been lights out, and that alone earns you time in the NFL. Combine that with his ability to catch out of the backfield and rip off chunk plays. If Ramondre Stevenson puts the ball on the ground in week 1, don't be surprised if Henderson gets the nod by week 2. He's that close. Same story with Kyle Williams, the third-round wide receiver out of Washington State. Talk about making a name for yourself early. Williams has been electric in camp. Quick feet, sharp roots, and a real connection brewing with the quarterbacks. Sure, there are going to be rookie bumps, but he's the kind of guy who only needs 1 or 2 explosive plays to convince the coaching staff he's ready to roll. If someone like Mac Hollins ends up better suited as a situational weapon, there's a very real chance Williams is the starting X-receiver before September's over. So that's 6 rookies. Left tackle, left guard, a running back, a wide receiver, and 2 special teamers, all either locked in or on the cusp of major roles by week 2. That's unprecedented for this franchise. And what's wild is they're not just filling holes. They're winning jobs outright. They're outperforming veterans. They're changing the timeline for this rebuild. And beyond those 6, there's still more talent percolating through the depth chart. You look at someone like Craig Woodson, the safety out of Cal, and it's clear the Patriots are building layers into their defensive backfield. Right now, he's behind Kyle Duggar, Jabril Peppers, and Jalen Hawkins, which is a deep group. But Woodson's showing enough in practice and on special teams to carve out a role. Maybe not immediately on defense, but the door isn't closed. And let's be honest, in today's NFL, you need a 4 safety who can step in and not miss a beat. Woodson could be that guy before the year's out. And how about Brady Swinson, edge rusher out of LSU? Quietly turning heads, quietly climbing. He's working behind Harold Landry and Keon White right now, with Kellavon Chaisson also in the rotation. But Swinson has flashed that twitch off the edge, the kind of motor that keeps him in the conversation. His path might be through packages and third down snaps at first, but this kid is going to find his way onto the field. You can feel it. Then there's Joshua Farmer, the big interior lineman from Florida State. If this were a different roster, he might already be in the rotation. But with Christian Barmore, Milton Williams, Kyrus Tonga, and Jeremiah Farms all showing out in camp, Farmer finds himself as the fifth option at defensive tackle. That said, he's got a shot to make the final 53, and when injuries hit, as they always do, he'll be one of the first names up. The potential's there. The physicality is there. He just needs time. Now, when we look at the offensive line depth, Marcus Bryant is holding down the backup left tackle spot. That's no small thing when the guy ahead of you is a rookie as well. Devontre Jacobs is operating as a swing tackle, first in line to spell Morgan Moses if needed. And these aren't placeholders. They're being evaluated every day, every snap. There's an opportunity here for Bryant, especially if he keeps progressing and showing he can hold his own against starting caliber pass rushers. At corner, you've got Mr. Irrelevant himself, Kobe Minor out of Memphis, trying to claw his way onto one of the most competitive position groups on the roster. With Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis cemented at the top, and guys like Marcus Jones and Jonathan Jones still around, it's a steep hill to climb. But don't count him out just yet. Minor's got the kind of chip on his shoulder that makes coaches pay attention. And let's not forget the undrafted free agents. There's always a couple that sneak onto the roster and make a difference. This year, keep an eye on Lan Larison, the running back, and Effin Cheatham, the wide receiver. Both have had flashes in camp, moments where they looked like they belonged, but they've also had hiccups, fumbles, drops, the kind of stuff that puts you in the doghouse fast when you're not a draft pick. Still, if there's an injury or a roster crunch and the staff feels like they can't trust one of the vets, don't be shocked if one of these two sneaks onto the 53 or earns a practice squad elevation early in the year. You need depth, especially on special teams, and both guys are being cross-trained to contribute in multiple areas. There's a little wrinkle with how this front office is built in the bottom of the roster too. Brendan Schooler, for instance, is a special teams ace and a backup safety, but you can't afford to carry too many of those guys anymore. The ones who only play on special teams. That was a Belichick thing. He loves stacking the roster with special team specialists. Most modern coaches, they want starters and contributors on offense or defense who can also help on special teams. That's the shift happening in New England, and it's part of why these rookies are getting such a long look. If you can do more than one thing, if you're versatile and coachable, you've got a path. And as the preseason unfolds, the stakes keep rising. There's still movement to come on the projected 53-man roster. Guys will get banged up. Others will emerge. But don't be surprised if when the dust settles, the Patriots are not just rolling with rookies, they're relying on them. Not just backups or rotation players, but legit contributors expected to shape the outcome of games. This isn't some long-term development strategy. This is real right now, and it could end up being the foundation for something special. And while all eyes have been on the rookies grinding through training camp, there's something else brewing in Foxborough. Something far more symbolic, something tied to the very soul of a franchise. A statue, but not just any statue. A 12-foot tall monument to the man who transformed the Patriots into a dynasty. That's right. Tom Brady is finally getting his bronze tribute, and it's going to be unveiled in grand fashion this coming Friday before the Patriots kick off their preseason opener against the Washington Commanders. Fans outside Gillette Stadium will get their first look at a permanent reminder of what excellence looks like in a Patriots uniform. And if you've seen renderings, if you've heard the whispers from inside the organization, then you know this isn't just a symbolic gesture. This is a legacy carved in metal, towering over the plaza like a reminder of what every player walking through that tunnel is chasing. Brady himself will be there. Robert Kraft will be there. And it's not going to be some low-key unveiling. This is Boston. This is New England. This is the man who brought 6 championships and gave the region 2 decades of dominance. It's emotional. It's historic. And it comes at a time when the franchise is very consciously turning a page. The old guard is gone. The team is younger than it's been in years. But the shadow of greatness still looms large. That statue is not just a tribute. It's a challenge. It's a message to every rookie, every veteran, every fan in the stands. This is the standard. For context, imagine standing next to a regulation basketball hoop. That rim sits 10 feet high. Now picture another 2 feet towering above that. That's how massive this statue is. It's not a bust. It's not some subtle, understated piece tucked away in a hallway. It's a full-scale celebration of the greatest quarterback to ever. Play the game, set in stone, or rather cast in bronze, for all to see as they enter the home of the Patriots. And let's be clear, this isn't something thrown together on a whim. The organization has been planning this moment for a long time. It was supposed to happen last season, but Tom's obligations with Fox Sports put the brakes on the original plans. The team had looked at doing it during the Dolphins game in Week 4, but when New England stumbled out of the gate and injuries started piling up across the league, things shifted. Timing is everything, and now, finally, the moment feels right. But here's the bigger picture. This statue represents more than Brady. It represents an era. It represents the culture that was built under Belichick and carried on the back of number 12. Every free agent who signs here, every rookie who walks into that locker room, every opponent who pulls into Gillette, they're going to see that statue and be reminded of what came before, of the bar that's been set. And while the team isn't trying to replicate that exact formula, they can't really. They are trying to recapture the mindset, the work ethic, the relentless pursuit of greatness. And you can already feel it echoing in how this year's team is shaping up. Young, hungry, fearless, rookies earning jobs, veterans being pushed, a new identity starting to take root under the weight of that legacy. And speaking of veterans, the league isn't just watching the Patriots rebuild. It's keeping a very close eye on 2 potential blockbuster situations that could shake up the entire landscape. Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin. These are not your average disgruntled stars. These are elite talents, both arguably top 5 at their respective positions. Both currently at odds with their teams for very different reasons. And while trade rumors continue to swirl, the Patriots' name has quietly hovered in the background, never front and center, but always in the mix. Always lurking with cap space and a need for impact players on both sides of the ball. With McLaurin, it comes down to age. Washington seems hesitant to commit long-term to a player entering his 30s, even though he's still producing like a top-tier receiver. It's a tough business decision, but one that opens the door for suitors, especially those who believe they're one piece away from a real playoff push. And that's where the Patriots could come in. Imagine pairing a healthy McLaurin with Kendrick Bourne and one of these emerging rookies like Kyle Williams. Suddenly, you've got a receiving core that can stretch the field, win underneath, and take pressure off whoever is under center. Be it Mac Jones trying to reclaim his job, or the rookie Drake May pushing his way to the front. Micah Parsons is a different situation altogether. He's not on the wrong side of 30. He's not past his prime. In fact, he might be the best young defensive player in football, not named TJ Watt. But his contract situation has hit a very Dallas-specific snag. Jerry Jones runs his negotiations in a way that often defies logic. Slow, unbending, unpredictable. He doesn't rush to extend players, even when they've clearly earned it. And for a guy like Parsons, that's becoming a problem. He wants security. He wants respect. And above all, he wants to feel like a cornerstone, not just another cog in the Cowboys machine. That disconnect is creating tension, and while a trade might seem unlikely on paper, in the NFL, pressure creates movement. All it takes is one bad meeting, one misstep, one tweet, and things can escalate. Now, it's not to say that New England is knocking down the door for either player, but they're watching, they're waiting, because the truth is this team has the assets. They've got picks. They've got cap flexibility. And if they believe that this roster, bolstered by a wave of impactful rookies, is 1 or 2 players away from contending in the AFC, they'll make a move. Don't forget, Robert Kraft has made it clear. He wants to win. He's not signing up for a 5-year rebuild. He wants results now. And if the right player becomes available, someone who fits the culture, someone who can walk into Foxborough and point to that Brady statue and say, yeah, I want to be part of that legacy, then anything is on the table. The key will be timing. Neither of these deals is likely to happen before the regular season starts. Teams are still in evaluation mode, trying to figure out who's worth keeping, who's expendable, who can be flipped for draft capital. But once the games begin and injuries hit and pressure mounts, that's when the wheels start turning. And for New England, the front office needs to be ready. Because if an opportunity presents itself, especially on defense, they have to pounce. A guy like Parsons could completely redefine the Patriots' front seven. You pair him with Judon and Keon White. You let him run free behind Christian Barmore and David Godchaux, and suddenly you've got a defense that looks like it belongs in the playoffs. Not in 2 years, not as a rebuild, right now. And even if a big trade doesn't go down, the Patriots' strategy is becoming clear. They're building through the draft, but not just for the future. These rookies aren't placeholders, they're foundational. And that means the window could open faster than expected. If Drake May shows he's ready, or even if Mac Jones can hold the job and operate efficiently behind a young but surprisingly effective offensive line, this team is going to be a lot more competitive than people think. There's speed, there's physicality, there's hunger, and more than anything, there's opportunity. The AFC is brutal, yes, but it's also wide open once you get past the top tier. And with a solid defense, a young core, and some serious motivation to prove doubters wrong, the Patriots could very well sneak their way into contention. That's why every snap of the preseason matters. Every rep, every injury report, every roster cut. Because this is where the tone gets set. This is where you find out if that rookie corner can go toe-to-toe with a starting wide receiver. This is where you see if your young offensive linemen can hold their blocks when the pressure ramps up. This is where Kyle Williams makes a contested catch that forces the staff to reshuffle the depth chart. This is where Trayvon Henderson picks up a blitz and buys just enough time for a touchdown throw that changes everything. And through all of it, looming outside the stadium will be that statue, that symbol, that reminder of what it looks like. When a player doesn't just fill a role, but defines an era. Brady didn't start out as a legend. He was a 6th-round pick. He got his shot, made the most of it, and never looked back. That's the blueprint. That's the dream. And now with a new crop of talent coming in, you can feel that energy building again. The question is, who's going to step up and chase that legacy? Who's going to walk by that statue on game day and say, it's my turn now? So as we roll into preseason and inch closer to kickoff, the storylines are writing themselves. Rookies taking over, veterans watching their backs, legends being immortalized, and a team that just might be building something dangerous in the shadows. If you've written the Patriots off already, you might want to reconsider, because something's brewing in Foxborough, and it smells a lot like unfinished business. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The New England Patriots are reportedly making a bold and ambitious move in the NFL offseason by pursuing edge rusher TJ Watt, creating a significant buzz around the league. According to several insider sources, the Patriots are preparing a massive offer that could shake up the defensive landscape of the NFL. TJ Watt, widely regarded as one of the most dominant defensive players of recent years, would represent a major upgrade for New England's pass rush, a position they have struggled to consistently fill since the departure of some key veterans. While no official statements have been made by either party, the murmurs from league insiders and sports analysts suggest that the Patriots are aggressively crafting a contract proposal that could reach into the tens of millions per year, signaling a willingness to invest heavily in defensive talent. This move aligns with the Patriots' historical approach of securing star players who can redefine their team's identity. The speculation surrounding this potential signing has already stirred debates among fans and commentators alike, with many wondering if the Patriots have the salary cap flexibility to pull off such a high-profile acquisition. If the deal materializes, it could mark a new era for the Patriots' defense, potentially positioning them as serious contenders once again in the highly competitive AFC East Division. The mere possibility of Watt in New England has created a palpable sense of excitement and anticipation, fueling numerous discussions across sports media platforms. The buzz surrounding the Patriots' interest in TJ Watt gains further traction when considering the strategic implications of such a signing for the team's defensive scheme. Watt, known for his relentless motor, ability to pressure the quarterback, and versatility in both pass rushing and run defense, would provide a rare kind of impact that few players can offer. His presence would instantly elevate the Patriots' front seven, offering a consistent threat that opposing offenses must game plan around. The rumor mill also hints that the Patriots coaching staff, led by Bill Belichick, sees Watt as a perfect fit within their complex defensive system, which relies heavily on intelligent play and adaptability. While the details of the offer remain confidential, sources indicate that the Patriots are prepared to sweeten the deal with performance incentives and guaranteed money that could outpace other potential suitors. The speculation is that the Patriots want to send a message not only to the AFC East rivals, but to the entire league by securing one of the top defensive talents available. Analysts are now closely watching how this potential deal could affect the team's roster construction, including potential cuts or trades needed to make room under the salary cap. With the NFL offseason heating up, the Patriots' rumored pursuit of Watt adds a compelling subplot to an already intriguing player market. In addition to the on-field benefits, the potential acquisition of TJ Watt by the Patriots carries significant ramifications for the broader NFL market and player movement dynamics. Watt's decision to possibly join New England would underscore a growing trend of defensive stars opting for teams with strong organizational stability and championship pedigree. The Patriots, despite some recent struggles, still boast a reputation for disciplined culture and player development, which could be attractive for Watt as he seeks not just financial gain, but also a platform to compete for a Super Bowl. The hell with him. Rumor that New England is offering a lucrative contract has sparked interest among other franchises, potentially triggering a bidding war that could push Watt's market value even higher. The speculative nature of these negotiations has created a whirlwind of media attention, with pundits speculating on the ripple effects this signing could have on free agency strategies across the league. Moreover, fans of the Patriots are increasingly hopeful that such a marquee signing could revitalize the franchise's defensive identity, providing a cornerstone around which the team can rebuild. While nothing is confirmed, the swirling reports paint a picture of a high-stakes chess match unfolding behind the scenes, as New England maneuvers to outbid and outthink its rivals in a highly competitive off-season environment. As rumors continue to swirl around the Patriots' attempt to sign TJ Watt, questions about the impact on the team's future salary cap and roster decisions become increasingly pressing. The financial commitment required to secure a player of Watt's caliber would be substantial, potentially forcing the Patriots to make difficult choices regarding existing players or draft picks. Industry insiders suggest that New England is prepared to restructure certain contracts or let go of some veterans to create the necessary cap space for this blockbuster deal. The Patriots front office, known for its meticulous planning, likely views this as a calculated risk worth taking given Watt's potential to transform the defense. This strategic gamble, however, carries its own uncertainties, including the risk of compromising depth in other positions or limiting flexibility in future free agency periods. The rumor mill also speculates on how this signing might influence the Patriots' approach to the upcoming NFL draft, with the possibility of shifting focus away from edge rushers or defensive players to bolster other areas of the team. Meanwhile, the pressure on Watt to perform under such a significant contract could be immense, with expectations sky high from both fans and the organization. As these narratives develop, the Patriots' rumored pursuit of TJ Watt remains one of the most talked about storylines heading into the next NFL season. Finally, the potential arrival of TJ Watt in New England could have profound implications for the AFC East division and the broader NFL playoff landscape. The Patriots, who have experienced a dip in dominance in recent seasons, would instantly become a more formidable opponent with Watt anchoring their pass rush. This move could ignite renewed rivalries with division rivals such as the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and New York Jets, all of whom have been strengthening their rosters aggressively. The rumor that the Patriots are making $1 million offer to Watt sends a clear signal that they are committed to returning to playoff contention and possibly reclaiming their status as AFC East champions. Experts speculate that Watt's ability to disrupt opposing offenses could tilt close games in the Patriots' favor, potentially changing the balance of power within the division. Additionally, this signing might inspire other teams to make bold moves of their own, escalating the competition across the conference. As these rumors continue to gain momentum, the NFL world watches closely to see if the Patriots can successfully complete this high-profile acquisition. Should they do so, it would not only alter the Patriots' trajectory, but also add another layer of excitement and unpredictability to the upcoming NFL season, keeping fans and analysts alike on the edge of their seats. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.